So what makes this push-up so important? Well, we learned this from the Yamakasi. These guys are some of the pioneers of parkour, and we were fortunate enough to train with them almost over a decade ago. And you may have seen them in action films or in documentaries and things like this, but after we trained with them, it literally changed our lives in the way we trained and even teach you on here. Now, this push-up was one of a handful of unique exercises that they showed to us. And this is one of the exercises that really had a huge impact in our fitness. Before we even got into stunts or doing Ninja Warrior, we were training this kind of stuff. So if you want a push-up that's not only going to just build strength, but also increase mobility and develop key parts of coordination, then this is the one you'll want to do. So as you can see, this is very similar to the Hindu push-up with a few extra modifications. Now, let's go into this because I want to show you why this is so much more important or so much better than a regular push-up. So I'm going to break this into 5 steps for you so that you get the technique down, and then afterwards, because this can be pretty tough, we're going to go into 3 progressions that I want you to go into. So the first step is the push-up plank. And now during this whole time, we want to keep a straight back, and we want to try to have our chin tucked to our neck just to have good alignment. So step 1 is here. Step 2 is going to the downward dog. Now as you see here, you're doing some amazing things right here. So we're getting some awesome flexibility in the calves and the hamstrings, and we're developing mobility in the ankles, the hips, and the shoulders, all in one movement here inside this push-up. And so this is step 2. Then step 3 will be dropping to the elbows. Now as we drop to the elbows, we want to wrap them in. We're going to keep them wrapped in the whole time. So we drop down to the elbows. Now this is building some really good shoulder strength, also some extra flexibility. This is great for going into, if you want to work on some handstand push-ups and other things like that, this strength is going to help a lot with that. And then for the 4th step, this is probably the hardest for most people, is we're driving forward and we're going to slide and roll onto the palms of our hands. So we're like this. It's a quick movement into this position. Now in this short movement, we're building so much extra additional upper body strength, core strength, and coordination that's going to go into a lot of different stuff. So this one's really, really great. So we're here. And then the 5th step and final step is to come up into an arched position, getting some extra flexibility here and a little bit of extra strength, and then coming back to the starting position. Now, quickly, I just want to go over that as we do this, especially for this last part, as we're coming into this arch, you don't want to force into it. You don't want to throw your hips. You want this to be nice and slow and controlled, and you don't want to just overarch or overly extend your back because you could injure yourself. You want to just do as much as you can. You just want to feel a good stretch here and then come back up. So this can be a pretty advanced push-up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this off into 3 different levels. And if you're just getting started, I want you to start off with this beginner one. So we're just going to do everything like I just talked about, except we're going to be on our knees the whole time. So you're going to get on your knees, going to get into a knee push-up position. So like you would for a knee push-up, except now we're going to start by going back to child's pose, going to the elbows like so, shooting forward, arching, and then coming back up. So we just repeat this movement. And this will be level 1. Okay, level 2 is like I just showed you. So now we're up into the full thing. We're going level 2, we're taking the next level. Make sure to go nice and slow, controlled, except for this portion where we're shooting forward, up, back to start. And then for the 3rd and final ninja level, we're gonna add an extra push-up into this. And this is what we did with the Yamakasi. So start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back up, and now we add in an extra push-up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you have it, and you can see why this is so much more powerful than a regular push-up, and why I personally think this is the most important push-up that you'll ever do. All right, so now I want to give you a challenge that I want you to do for the rest of this week. But before we go into that, I have to tell you that me and my brother just released our Acro 101 program. This is a lot of the stuff you can do in-home. So if you want to learn acrobatics, you want to get into some of the moves, fun bodyweight skills, but maybe you've never tried it before, well, this is the course you want to get into because we have a lot of beginner progressions, exercises, stretches, and stuff like that. You can check it out in the description. Now, for this challenge, we learned this from the Yamakasi, and this kind of fits their whole philosophy when we were training with them. That was one thing I really admired about them, is not just their physical abilities. Even, some are in their 40s and could move like they were in their 20s. But the big thing about them was their mental mindset. They were very strong mentally, and this is one of the things that fit that, because their philosophy was strong mind, strong body, strong spirit. And so one of the challenges that they would always have for us is that when we had our set number of reps for any of the exercises, so say we're doing 10 of those push-ups, well, once we reached the end, we were all super tired, we were gassed out, they would say, do one more rep. You gotta do one more rep. So at the end of every time, right when you're gassed and you feel like you can't do any more, you push yourself to that next level. And that was part of their kind of philosophies, always testing themselves, always pushing themselves, seeing how much further they could go. And when they told us to do that, to push just an extra little bit, it really helped us to, see how much more you could get out of yourself. So I want you to try that during this week in all of your workouts. When you're feeling really tired, just think, I'm gonna do one more rep, and try to get that extra one additional rep in it. I bet you'll be able to get it most of the time. All right, so that's it for this video. Now, if you want to learn more about the Yamakasi, because what I've noticed is that there's such a big influence in parkour and a lot of movement today, but once you train with them, it's a life-changing experience. It will change the way you train forever. So if you can get the chance to train with them, I know they were doing workshops and stuff in the past, but I'll put links down below, so maybe if you want to connect with them or watch some of their stuff, you can do that. It's in the description. So thanks again for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, turn on those notifications if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.